Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this section, we want to look at underwater features of charts. All right, so we want to cover perspective, okay, and I'll show you what that means in a minute or two. Look at the underwater terrain, how we have rocks, reefs, wrecks, and that sort of thing we want to try to avoid while we're navigating along in the water with our boat. I want to look at bottom quality, mud, sand, and grass. So those are sort of important when you're dealing with anchoring and so on. Don't anchor on rocks. They don't hold too well. And other kinds of underwater hazards. So here you see a chart that represents Cutting Head Island, which is at the end of the Elizabeth Islands in Massachusetts. Okay, and you see all these little stars along here. They're indicating like rocks. Okay, you see up here a buoy indicating a possible water hazard here. You see another little buoy. Okay, it's just a little tiny buoy because it's not filled in like this one. Notice this one has its noted. Okay, we'll look at that sort of thing in more detail as we go along. But so this is the name or the indicator on the buoy itself that you read on a chart. Okay, down here you see some ledge and another buoy marking that ledge area to be careful of. And here we have another buoy, marks the entrance to this little channel going into Cutting Harbor. Okay, you see the harbor, this little anchorage inside this little harbor. All right. Okay, and here you see like a little wreck indicator. Okay, we'll look at these in more detail as we go along. More rocks, little asterisks indicating rocks. Here you see a green buoy. Okay, notice these are red buoys over here. And we use the old acronym red, right, returning. So if you're returning to harbor, this would be on your starboard side, on your right. Okay, so enter the harbor. Okay, so now this is a chart representation of this island. So let's look at a different kind of view of this island. So here got a copy of what it would sort of look like with an airplane. Okay. So you see here, you see the pond, and you see these rocks marked up here. So it doesn't look anywhere near like the same of the chart that you saw. And so that's the point, okay, that you have to realize that a chart is not always 100% accurate to what you would see, all right? So you have to be careful of that, okay, and keep that in mind when you are navigating around, all right? So now let's look at what some of those rocks and so on that I was talking about earlier and what they all mean. So you see something like this on a chart, okay, indicates the fact that there's a line of danger in general, okay. Here you see a wreck indicator, all right. Another kind of visible wreck, okay, it's above the mean high tide. Okay, you see some mass indicating here, all right. And here's a wreck, and let's see, wreck last depth known obtained by sounding only. All right, so they've got all kinds of indications here as to what these kind of icons mean on a chart. All right, here we got another one. Maybe we saw a bunch of these on the chart I was showing you of Cuttyhunk. All right, and so on. So these all kinds of different kinds of icons that are slightly different, they indicate slightly different things. So these are things you should be aware of, okay? You may stumble across one when you're laying out a chart, and you should be aware of what they are and to avoid them, all right? That's the important thing, is not you want to hit one of these things, all right? And so on. So let's look at some more. So here's this is from the chart 1 that's available from NOAA, all right? I'll attach it to this lecture anyway, so you have a copy of it available to you. It's a PDF, so you could always print it out if you want to, or just look at it, okay, with your computer. All right? So here you see all different kinds of indications of what's on the chart, okay? Here you see some areas that are above the water line, that are visible during high tide and not visible during high tide, and so on. So here's sort of the chart indicators of what you'd see on there. Okay, here's a bunch more. Okay, again, these are all from chart 1, so I'll attach it so you can review it at your leisure. All right. So you have to memorize all these things now from my lecture. All right. And here you have a submerged volcano. I don't think we're going to run into too many of those around here. All kinds of different indicators. Okay, here's the coral reef. All right. Okay, and by the way, over here on this other side, this is what you probably would see on an international chart as opposed to one you'd get from NOAA, and so on. All right. So as you see, let's go down here. Let's go and look at some more. Okay, here's a boat that's wrecked, it's sunk. Okay, and so they have different kinds of little icons indicate different levels of visibility, whether it's high or low tide. So you have to be careful, that kind of thing. Okay, and so on. So go along here. Okay, the next video is walk through the Woods Hole, and we'll look at some navigational features with Woods Hole. Okay, that's it for this video.